Just trying to get it so we're both in the middle. Is that good? I think it looks good. All right, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the video. I can't start this video without talking about what's going on.
Do you guys know who I am?
So this is my friend Michelle. She makes videos on YouTube, and her channel name is My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You, but more importantly, she does cosplay, and so that's why.
That's the important part.
That's why I am in a Spider-Man outfit, because we actually just filmed a video on her channel, so I'll link that down in the description if you guys want to check that out. But, so you are Mystique today.
Yes, I am Mystique.
So
it's part of my personality, my mini personalities.
So I just wanted to do a video where it's just, we're kind of having a conversation, just almost like an interview, I guess. Not really, but I think that it would be really interesting maybe for people that might not be familiar with what your channel is. I would love to learn the story of how you got to that, right? So how you got to making the videos that you make now. So if you could kind of maybe just like explain, you know, growing up and, you know, just all the things that led you to where you are now in life, I guess.
Yeah, well, I grew up, I mean, I usually...
Were you always blue?
Got him! Got him!
The question that everyone's wondering. Yes, I was. I went through many surgeries to not be blue, and then I decided to be blue again. But, so I like to say, I usually say like, oh, I was never thin, but I was thin up until I got to period, my puberty, that type of thing. So once puberty hit, hips, boobs, hunger came, and I was just ready to eat, and with that I started gaining weight. I also have endometriosis, so that's basically, I like to put those basic ones, and you guys can do, you know, research if you want to get deeper into it, but it's basically just very painful periods to the point where I can pass out, I throw up, I can black out. I'm usually, it used to be about 7 days that I would have to be in bed and just lay there and just cry and let it do its thing, and now I'm down to about 3 days because I got a lot healthier.
Really? So you're like, you improving your health improved?
It did, yeah. It was very like,
I don't know anything about that,
because
so.
I mean, if I don't know if it's like, if you think about it type of thing, but I used to binge before my, like, you know, like you get very hungry before your period, so I would just like give into my binges. I would eat probably the worst possible food that you can eat before when that happens, and my inflammation would just go, you know, skyrocket. So now I do like a low inflammatory diet. I really try to watch, you know, like if I start feeling a little weird, I'm like, okay, it's that week. I should probably be very careful in what I'm putting in my body, and I also have to make sure to drink water, because I was someone that would not drink water because I wanted to have abs all the time, you know, that kind of stuff. So I did come from a family that I didn't have any restrictions. I could eat whatever I wanted. I could go to the fridge and, you know, drink a whole, you know, gallon of soda if I really wanted to. My mom didn't really care. Not that she didn't care about us, but she was just like, have at it, you know what I mean? We just never had restrictions, and with that, I put on quite a bit of weight. I didn't start changing until, I mean, I was just tired. Honestly, I was tired of looking like that, and I didn't like my thighs chafing. That hurts in the summer. So I started changing. What really motivated me to more get healthy instead of just the vanity aspect would be looking at my family, and mostly my dad. He's got diabetes. He's like in the late end stages where most likely he'll probably have to get a limb cut off soon, you know, something like that. People in my family, in my mom's side, when I go back with, you know, family reunions, I will see like all my aunts kind of just lined up on the counter, and they're just like spoon feeding cake, and you know, just like they just look like they're in pain, but they still just keep eating. So I just saw myself going down that path, and I just wanted to change. So I lost weight, became a trainer, decided to educate myself because I didn't have money to get a trainer, and here I am. I did start on YouTube posting relationship videos, and then I did. Nice. I did like little like cartoons of.
So that's where you started.
That's when I started on YouTube.
So was the name of your channel My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You?
No, I changed the name. People noticed that I was muscular, obviously. And
obviously I'm pretty jacked.
Just kidding. But they started noticing that I was muscular, and they would just ask me questions, and I was like, okay, well, I can talk about this too. And then this whole, you know, fat positive movement started talking about a little bit about that. And then I remember, you know, one day I just kind of made a video. This is when I just started competing, and I was going to school full time. I was working at LA Fitness full time, and I was like, how the heck am I gonna get my workouts in? And I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get up at 3:30 a.m. and go get my done. I mean, my poop stuff done. He doesn't curse. And
Spider-Man doesn't curse. Okay?
Spider-Man is a good person. Mystique is not.
Yeah.
She's kind of iffy there. But so I got to the gym by 4 a.m. and I was out by 5 and ready, you know, to get ready for school and get off to school. And I made a post saying, if you really want to, you know, get your workout in, you will find, you know, 30 minutes to an hour a day. You know, even like less than that for some newbies. And this lady on my Facebook got very offended by me just saying, if you want it, you'll find time. And she got very pissed off. So I did notice, like, every time I would make a fitness post, at least one person would find something offensive about it. And so then I was like, you know, I can just change my page name to My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You, because they probably will offend at least one person.
So what, did you change your Facebook first, or was it just
I started on Facebook and then I went to YouTube after.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I've definitely noticed people get mad at me because in my videos I'm always like, you know, I'm not trying to hate on anyone, yada yada yada, because I try and put those disclaimers because it is so easy to offend, and it's so easy to offend, to cause offense. I don't think that a lot of what we say is really offensive. It's just people where they are in their life
they feel it in their
they
soul.
feel like they want to be offended, right? And so what kind of led you into making the videos about, you know, because you don't just make videos about the Health at Every Size movement or about, you know, that type of content. You make it about pretty much all about fitness. Pretty much, I would say, like, a lot of your channel is about trying to debunk a lot of the kind of the BS in the industry. So what put that passion there in
I think because I was one of those people that would get scammed by, you know, weight loss products. I was on tons of fat burners, tons of, you know, pre-workouts, tons of things that really screwed up my body and made the whole endometriosis thing even worse. And then, you know, my boyfriend worked as a formulator, and he kind of told me, like, all those products are not the best, and they're not lying, but they're getting around it in a way where they are lying to you, and you're not really getting at what they're telling you.
I think that the videos that you make are really, one, there's obviously a huge comedy aspect to them, right? And then the cosplay thing is definitely different, and it definitely, like,
weird. You can say it.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't get offended. No, I do get offended, but it's okay.
But so what made you want to be like, I'm gonna do cosplay in my videos?
Well, the only thing I watch is cartoons. I am a 29-year-old child. That's all I watch. It's just what I like. I love cartoons. I love superheroes. I love figurative stories. I love, you know, just weird magic and stuff like that. It just really speaks to me. And whenever I would see someone cosplaying, like, I could see so many amazing bodies on Instagram, just scrolling through, seeing abs and everything. I would only stop. The only thing that would catch my eye is people in cosplay. And I'd be like, this is amazing. Like, this is like, and then especially if it's a character that I love, I would feel the nostalgia. I would, you know, I would love it. And I wanted to give that to my audience, and it seems like they're liking it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, your channel has completely blown up. And I think it's for a good reason, for a lot of things, but I would say the cosplay is definitely part of it, but I would say it's more, a lot of it's, you know, your comedy and the points that you make. It's interesting though, because the cosplay, like, for me, this is the only, I don't even want to consider this cosplay, because I'm literally just wearing a Halloween costume, I feel like. But I
bought it from you guys.
She did, she literally bought me this. But for me, it's cool because so since, like, Tom Holland has been the Spider-Man, you know, the most recent iteration of Spider-Man, a lot of people have compared me to him, which I'm not sure how much we look alike. I'm not sure how much I agree with that. A lot of people say it's like the personality thing. But for me, coming from where I was, being, like, morbidly obese, right? Like, when I would think of Halloween costumes, it was always, okay, who's the fat guy, right? Like Peter Griffin, Chris Farley. Like, no, but that was it. Yeah. Or I just wouldn't dress up, so I literally never dressed up for Halloween. One time I wore a Tweedledee and Tweedledum hat. That was literally it, right? That was my whole Halloween costume.
I've never really, I guess because I grew up in a very, like, Christian household, so, like, my parents didn't do the whole, like, Halloween thing, so I never got to dress up, and now, like, you know.
Yeah, not gonna let me dress up, I'm gonna dress up every single day.
Now that yeah. So, like, I never really thought about, like, oh, does this character fit? You know what I mean? But I can see where you're coming from.
Well, yeah, so the fact that people even say that we're similar is so cool, because I come from, like, the only thing I was ever referred to as being similar to was any fat person. So it was like again, like Chris Farley, that's the only time I was referred to as being similar. So the fact that I can sit here and wear this skin tight outfit, you know,
and look bomb.
thank you. But like, and feel, you know, whatever, confident about it, not really too worried about it. It's really cool to me because again, like I never would have, in the past, I never would have been able to get to this point in my life. You know, I never thought that I would. And so it's really cool. And I think that it's really interesting, like what you're doing with your channel, the points that you're trying to make, the thoughts that you are sharing. But what would you say is like the favorite thing that you have about, you know, having your channel and having the, you know, the influence that you do with it?
I just like the reaction. I think I like to see what people think of what I think. And I mean, I love the dressing up part. That's like feels back. I'm back in the theater type thing. So that's always a bonus. But I just like to see how people react to my reaction. And I love reading. Like I say this in every video. I try to read every single comment, and I love seeing what people think about what I think. And then I also do like when people maybe disagree with me and come up with a different points, and then I can kind of look back at myself and see like, oh, you know, like does this resonate, you know, well, or does this change my opinion? You know what I mean? Because there's different opinions out there.
Absolutely.
And I enjoy hearing other people's opinion. Like I love our group, but we all kind of have the same opinion. So it's nice to hear other people's, you know, opposing opinion.
Yeah, I think that's important, is not just feeling like everything you're saying is 100% fact, right? I think that that's really powerful. That's something that I love doing, is, you know, making these videos where I'm sharing how I think, but I'm not sitting here saying this is exactly how you should feel. You know, I want to hear what other people think. So I think that's good. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to find out how you got to where you were, you know, what you do now. So if somebody wants to watch your videos, where would they go?
My thoughts will probably offend you. They might just offend you, just to warn you. And then my Instagram is Michelle_McDaniel, and you'll see a lot of paints, a lot of my dog, and a lot of fitness.
There you go. Her dog is very cute. But yeah, thanks so much for being on the channel.
Thank you. I'm happy that you got to come over and you cosplayed.
I know. I'm pretty stoked about this. I've always wanted to be Spider-Man. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.